pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would like to amend the agenda to include 5A, which would be a change order with IES in regards to the 12-5 line upgrade. That's a motion.
I second.
Then moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amended agenda.
So moved.
And second? And moved and seconded. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Number 4, approval of the consent agenda. I entertain a motion.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
And moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Questions? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Number 5, Stanfield rooftop maintenance contract. Mark?
This is something that you currently have that is coming to an expiration at the end of this year. It's for the library, for $350 a year. They, make 2 visits. They clean the roof off, they inspect it to see if they see any, potential leaks, and they would make us aware of it. Your city attorney has looked at the agreement, doesn't have any problems with it, and Ms. Marler tells me that they're very nice to work with. So my recommendation is to approve.
Okay, any questions of the council?
I just have one. Is this not something that James can do and inspect that roof? And the city guys could clean the gutter?
Well, remember, your roof has a warranty of that neoprene, whatever, that white latex material that's put up there, so I would think that this would help do that. This is not really a building inspector type issue. So $350 a year for them to look at it twice, probably pretty money for us.
Tiffany, does the cost of this come out of their budget?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, and they're in favor of it?
Yes,
The library?
yes, Ms. Marler is in favor.
Okay, I'd so move to approve it.
Second.
Then moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. 5A would be a change order with, IES regarding the reference to 2.4 kilovolt to 12.4 kilovolt line diversion project. And, what this is the amount of funds that we need to increase this project cost for purchasing and installation of these poles that we have that we found are damaged severely. I believe there was 39 of them. So it basically states this amount will be added to the original contract price of $1,233,364.27 for a total of $1,711,486.19. And there is no owner contingency left in the contract value. This change order will continue the line work for the remaining projects. Also, in this change order, the original completion date of February 14th, 2023 will need to be extended because of this work. And based on the new budget for the remaining project, IAS is projecting May 30th, 2023. So this is between the city and the company that's doing the upgrades on the line. And the original contract, as I said, with them was $1,233,364.27. So it's a necessary evil. They're here, they can get it done, and the interest rate is so low, I think we need to take advantage of it while we've got the opportunity in this additional price.
How are we paying for this?
Uh,
How are we paying for this?
We pay it monthly.
It's like a loan or a mortgage payment every month,
Right.
it's right now, it's about $18,500 per month.
The,
On our electric bill.
yeah, we budgeted a line item in the 12.5, or in the electrical budget for the 12.5 line. And that $200,000 is what's been utilized to make these payments. And that's what will continue to be utilized. Now, Roger, when Roger did the budget, he was looking at this $1,233,000 estimate. So he had increased that amount because it was a small amount to be increased to $216,000 and some odd dollars. That's in the 12.5 line item in the electrical budget, which will make that payment. Well, now we're gonna have an increased payment of how much?
It'll take you up to about 21,000 a month from 18.5.
Yeah, so it's a minimal amount that'd be an increase, but, at the end of the year, we're probably gonna have to do another budget amendment to cover that cost.
I saw a lot of poles that are in bad shape.
That's what the problem is, Jerry. We've got 39 poles that they've discovered is really bad.
These are the poles that they're class 50s, they're the tallest poles that we have in the city. At ground level, they're 11 inches in diameter, and there's a 4-inch rotting board that's holding them up.
So, yeah, go ahead.
I thought we had only 400,000 that they were gonna let us have.
Well, they've got, I think it's more than that now. I think it's, well, all of these projects were bonded from several different cities, and all of them are coming in under budget. Ours is,
Except Marion.
no, ours is projected to come in about 1.1 million.
I believe that was the.
Yeah, so we're coming in under this 1.2 million so far. That's a projection. And, the amount of the increase in this is projected to be less than the $400,000. We're looking at, what was it, 1.5?
Yes, because that's the additional 400,000. I had the same question you did, Ruth, for James Ging. I said, look at your change order, and I said the $400,000. He walked me through it to where
Okay.
I understood that. I wish these questions would have been asked for him last time, but he walked me through it to where we're borrowing an additional $400,000. In addition to that, it's actually 29 versus 39 poles. There were, estimated 200 poles in the original 3.1, and now we had found there's an additional 150 out there of those poles. So it's not just 29 poles that's bringing us to you. And remember, this had to be tied to the electrical upgrade. So do we have other poles that need to be worked on? Yes, but not that we could tie to the electrical upgrade. This is all and the interest rate, like the mayor said, 2.56.
Can't beat that.
You really can't, so I think any of the electric companies, the construction companies in town,
Yeah.
now's the time.
And the other issue is where this line of poles are. Those poles are all bad. If one goes down, they all go down.
It's like Max
And
said.
then we got some real problems, and we don't have a crew that can replace all of those poles. But we have a crew right now in town that can replace all of those. So, good question.
Is KPP on board with this amount?
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. They actually generated that change. They were involved in the generation of that change.
Right. So, any other questions? None, I'll call for the question. We have a motion in a second.
Yes.
Call for the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. 500,000, number 6, 500,000 gallon water tank renovations. Mark?
This is to paint the inside and outside of the large tank out by the football field. This was actually presented to you back in, I'm gonna say April, May, or June of this year by Roger. This contract was generated back in, I believe, 2020. The cost of that has increased by 10,000 since that time, and I don't think that's surprising any of us. I'm surprised it's not more. I got a call from a company representative telling me that there was a chance that these costs would go up an additional 20% after January 1st. Now, This contract does not obligate you to perform this project. This contract just protects you from any future price increases that might take place. As I understand it, back in 2020, the city went out to bid for some of these projects, so and your attorney has looked at this one as well. My understanding that, you know, you've got a bid in front of you that is a result of the bid process. If you choose to go out to bid again, you can, but the contract you see in front of you simply protects the price that, of what, $200,000 and 20% would be another 40. That's all this does, is protect you from future price increase.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna tell you that company's gonna say, well, you know, don't come to me in 5 years and wanna do this. And I think there's COVID ARP money that the city has received that would pay for this project. That's my understanding from the information that was provided to me by Roger.
Okay, question?
That was kind of my question. I didn't know if we had to do it. You know, if it was really needed, that's why was my question.
Yeah,
But this is just so we don't have problems.
Absolutely. This year, one of the ozone contact basins and the large water tank that we're talking about now were scheduled to be inspected. We cleaned the ozone generation basin out. This has to do with the agenda item, but we cleaned it out, so I called the lady and I said, I don't need you to inspect what I've already cleaned out. And she said, well, that's good. She said, normally we send a dive team down to inspect these, you know, concealed and they're wet and all that stuff. And she said, but I wanna send an LV, which is kinda like a submarine that goes, you know, in there and take pictures and they do a decent job. And I said, well, that's fine. I said, how many dive teams do you have? She said, normally I have 6. She said, now I have 1. Well, my thought is, if we're gonna have these people do the inside and outside of the tank, I don't need to be inspected, because we're fixing to empty it, work on it, repaint it on the inside and out. Does it need to be done? Yes, that does.
When were they gonna, so they've not,
Go
they have
ahead.
not looked at the big water tank, the divers or
No,
the,
no.
just wonder what kind of shape it's in right now. Is it something we need to, I don't know, is it something we need to do right now? It'd be nice if we had that.
The COVID money, the 24, 25 rings a bell with me as to when you have to
Use that, but-
yeah, use it by. And COVID money can be used for infrastructure. I don't think it can be used for salary or services. You got the money, it's been some time since it's been done.
Any other questions?
But I said, again, I'm obligated to perform the project just because you signed it. It just locks in the price.
Is this, a budgeted item for 2023?
That I do not know.
It is?
Well, I actually made a copy of this, so I had it. In capital improvements, we have ARPA water tower project, $134,600 budgeted for in 2023.
Okay. And what's the total cost of?
199 on this.
Okay. Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion, if you so desire.
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded, any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries 5-0. Number 7, approval of 301 East Main project change order. Tiffany?
Yes, can I back up for just a second though? On the
Sure.
IES, I did not catch the motion on that. Who made the motion?
Ruth, I believe, made the
Who
motion,
did? Okay.
and I think it was seconded by Zach.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it was you and me. I
Okay.
wrote it down.
You made the motion, I seconded it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so
Alright.
much.
Yeah, no problem. Okay,
Okay.
number 7.
In the packet, is included a change order for the 301 East Main project. The change is for chimney tear down cost of $1,600, which if you look down at the bottom, takes the total contract amount to $298,258. And it's just stating that the contract sum will be increased, and there is no change, the time is unchanged. So it's just an additional cost for that chimney tear down.
Okay,
We did a change contract with them in October the 3rd and approved another $17,043. Why didn't they add that into this?
I'm guessing that they didn't, at the time we did that, they didn't have this cost. I know that, they are also, right now, they're working on getting together masonry, workers. That way they can take care of the wall, which I think is the next item, which I wonder if we won't have another change order, because they have to be determined on that next line down
So,
there.
I mean, if they can get through this project and only have 2 change orders, they're in pretty good shape. It's fairly, normal to have change orders in a job, especially like this where there's some unknowns that will come up. So, and all we're acting as a pass-through on this event,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion and a second.
Second.
Moving second, any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried, 5-0. Number 8. Sale of canine to Green County Sheriff.
I got a call from Sheriff Sawyer saying that he would like, if would please the council, he would like to purchase the canine from the city. And he would like to do it in this calendar year for budgetary reasons of his own. The dog costs $7,800, I believe, and of course you had expenses with the dog, but you'd had the same expenses whether it was $500 or $5,000, those things are just part of ownership. His offer is $6,000, the dog is 4 years old and they're usable life, and I'm kinda getting out of my realm of expertise here, Dwayne and Clinton, but I understand that 8 years is about the time to where so half of the usable life of the dog is gone, and he's offering you approximately 80% of the dog's purchase price. Of course, we do have a fund where these monies are accounted for separately, and the money would go into that fund and be utilized for something similar to that in the future, but then again, that would be a council decision, but and I'd asked Jeff about being here, but I guess he was busy this evening, but my recommendation to the council is that, we sell the dog to the county. There is a bond between dogs and handlers. I can hand you my 45, I can't hand you my dog, it just, the changeover doesn't work that well. The dog's still in the community, still at the residence he was at. There is you had requested an agreement between the city and the sheriff's department, and I've had an MOU generated, and, Sheriff Sawyer has that. As soon as he agrees to it, well, I'll come here. I have no doubt, and I don't know if you do have any concerns either, Dwayne, but I don't doubt that if the police department calls for the sheriff's department, there's gonna be assistance there, and if they need a dog, they'll get one. But I'm trying to get everything we want, but I think this is the next step.
I, had a conversation with the sheriff today, and I believe you, given him a memorandum of understanding.
Yes,
Is
that's
that
not,
correct?
yeah.
He requested that I come and sit down with him and visit with him about it. So I would like to table this until such time as I can get that memorandum of understanding and get it before the council, because it's gotta be approved by the council before I can even sign it. So,
Well, now remember, he was the one that wanted to purchase the dog in this calendar year.
yeah, I understand that, but if we wait until next year, he can take it out of next year's budget, we discussed that. And
Okay,
he didn't have a problem with that,
okay, all right.
of waiting. And, so I would prefer we table that.
Just for my intake, I think that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
if he still goes with that dollar amount.
Okay. All right, number 9, 2023 community board appointments. Can we do, I can read those, but can we do those as all of one after I read them, or would you prefer individually? All of one? Okay, the Housing Authority, Orville Pfeiffer, 4-year term from 1/1/23 to 12/31/26. Jay Christensen, 4-year term, 1/1/23 to 12/31/26. Airport Authority is Mitch Scooterman, 3-year term, 1/1/23 to 12/31/25. Now, all these are 1/1/23, so I'm gonna read the expiration date. My Lefty, expiration date 12/31/24. John Wheeler, 12/31/25, and Ty Ziner, 12/31/25. Planning Commission would be Carol Lau, 3-year term, that will end 12/31/25. Russ Hake, 3-year term also, expiration the same time. And J.R. Ewing is a new member of the board, and he'll have a 3-year term of 12/31/25. Museum Board would be Gary Collett, 4-year term, expiring 12/31/26. Jennifer Hess, 4-year term, same expiration date. Susan Gray, 4-year term, same expiration date. And Board of Zoning Appeals, Marlon Buckholz, 3-year term, expiration date of 12/31/25. I would move to approve these 2023 community board appointments. Do I have a second?
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign.
I abstain.
Motion carries. 4-0, 1 abstention, which goes with the majority. Number 10, appointment of municipal judge. This Brandy Roy Bachman is from Emporia. I don't know if you're aware, but,
No, and as you requested, I've got her resume and copies of a
okay.
couple of reference emails that are attached on the back.
And you are aware that, the, Judge not Pankrat, Pankrat has, retired from our municipal court judge, and we have this application, which I think is a pretty good one. And as you can see, she has a very good resume, and she's willing to contract, or not necessarily contract, she can just be appointed, but she's agreed to $350 a month for her services. And I would highly recommend her appointment. So is there any questions, and you want to take a moment and absorb this? There are references at the back.
It appears she has her own law office, which is
Mhm.
good.
Is this a it's not for a specific term?
It's yeah, it'll be a yearly appointment,
Okay, yeah.
right, 1-year appointment, as the chief of police is a 1-year appointment, the city clerk and so on, there's several that are 1-year appointment. So that's what this will be.
Is it an unexpired, is she filling an unexpired term then to start, or is it?
No,
just
no,
one-year
no,
appointment?
his term ends 12/31.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And, and the court's already been this month, is that correct, Quentin?
Yep.
So, it's taken care of this month, and Judge Pankratz was there, so now, and then he will end 12/31. And then next month in January, she will take over, and it will be a 1-year appointment. Any further questions? I'll entertain a motion to approve the appointment of municipal Judge Brandy Roy Bachman.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0. Okay.
That would be number 10, no, 11.
I don't know what I did with my agenda. Okay, number 11, we need to have a 30-minute executive session to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel to protect the privacy of employees pursuant to KSA 754319B1. Session to include the city council. We'll go out of, session at 12, what is it? 6
Well,
at 6
hang
o'clock.
on, 'cause that's
Yeah,
an
that's
hour.
all.
So if you say, well, if
It's
you
an hour
say, well,
back.
it's 5, that gives us.
No, I said 6, I changed it, cause I was looking at the clock.
No, but it's only 5 o'clock right now.
Ah,
It's 4.
That's
Four.
what I'm 4:56 right now.
okay, we'll go out at 5 o'clock, and we will resume at 5:30. That's a motion, do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded, all, any further discussion?
Marion County Record makes the same objection it made last week, that this is in
All
violation of
those in
Attorney
favor
General.
signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried 5-0.